Hey guys, how you doing today? So I wanted to come on and talk a little bit about the transformational journey that I'm on. And so part of it is like I was going through my photos, old photos for some reason, and I saw some old photos of me when I used to weigh like 305 pounds. And so this was in the last 7 to 10 years ago. And used to look at those photos in disgust and just, I'm like judging her and just thinking she's disgusting. And with the transformational work that I've been doing, it's about accepting and loving all versions and all parts of ourselves, all of throughout our life and all that we've gone through. And so when I looked at her, she just looked gross to me. And so, but she was doing the best she could. She was surviving. She was trying to live as good as she could, but she was always seeking happiness outside of herself. She was lost. And now I can see her with compassionate eyes, or as you would say, like angel eyes, God eyes, Jesus eyes. It's like I see her how God sees me, and he sees how beautiful she is and how loved she is and how supported she is, even though she didn't feel that way in those moments back then. And so I have released judgment upon myself, and I now have accepted her into my heart. I no longer push her away because she is me. She is the version that was surviving and dealing with so much stress and so much pressure and just trying to feel good as she could. And she was so lost, and so far removed from God and loving herself. And God is all about unconditional love. And I did not have unconditional love, nor was I shown unconditional love, let alone from anybody else, let alone myself, because I didn't even have it for myself. So, how was anybody else going to show it to me, other except through God? And so, I find it interesting that I mentioned this to my ex, and he explained to me that he's been going through the same transformational journey. So he used to look at his old photos when he was super skinny and using drugs and looking at it in disgust. And now he no longer looks at it in disgust. He doesn't judge it anymore. He sees that he was lost. He sees it with compassionate eyes. And how interesting and how wonderful and miraculous that God works with us when we're ready, and that we are both working on ourselves and our transformational journeys with God, but in our own space. And we have both learned to find unconditional love for ourselves. And I have done like visualizations, accepting in all versions of me back into my heart space. And let me tell you, that has been profound. And so when I went through my photos right now, for some reason I went to get my computer out to write down what healing journey I did this morning, with God being guiding me to do this. And so it was another part of the healing that I had done the other week, but it was another layer to it. And I went to go get my computer out because that's where I typed up the last one, and I was going to type them together. And for some reason I clicked this weird button, and then all my old photos popped up in Google. And so apparently I saved some old photos from like 10 years ago, and I looked at the photo of her and how like heavy she was and just engrossed in her phone. I'll show you the photos as I'm talking here. And just I looked at her differently, and I'm like, I love her. She is a survivor. She is a warrior. She was doing the best she could. And she was lost, and she was so far from loving herself and feeling that God energy. And so I can hold her in my space, in my heart, and let her rest now because she's safe now. It's okay to rest. And it's okay to bring forth the new version of me. And it's okay to be honest. It's okay to be open. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to show these parts of me, because we all have them. And so even when I would look at other people and I would judge them and I would look at them in disgust or anger or whatever, it was really a mirror back to myself to show me how I was seeing myself. And I just couldn't see it because I was so blinded. I was so blinded by everything that was going on in my life that I didn't see it. I couldn't see it. And now I have the opportunity to see it and love it and accept all versions of me, the good, the bad, everything, all of it. I accept and love all of it. It's all a version and part of me, and it all deserves to be within me, transmuted and rested and loved and shown compassion, just like God shows us all compassion no matter where we're at. He meets us where we're at, and He takes our hand and He guides us and He leads us to where we need to be. And it's amazing that He can do it with so many different people, even at the same time as I'm learning, with my ex, and he's being a better father. And anyway, I'm just saying, like, it's safe to let God in your life. It's safe to let Him change you. It's safe to love all versions of you, all of them, even the ones that you judged as bad. You're meant to love every part of you and not to shun yourself away, not to push yourself away, because that's when you get more and more lost, is when you keep pushing yourself away. And that's why I can say that I found myself, because I'm not pushing myself away anymore. So every day is something for me to work on, because I'm open to seeing it. I'm open to see the dark side. And I'm open to see where I can improve and where I can hold and love her and let her just be until she's ready to move into the new version of herself, the higher self, the unconditional loving self. And so every day is not going to be perfect, and every day is an opportunity for growth, is how I look at it. And so I'm given opportunities every day to express unconditional love for myself and continue to work to change to be who I want to be, which is my highest version of myself. 7:07 on the timer, which means you're on the right path. 0 is divine messages with God, and then on the right path with God. And so this is just confirming to me that I am on the right path and that everything is working out for its highest and greatest good. And I trust the process. I trust that I went through everything that I went through. I accept and love in all of that into my heart space. The good, the bad, everything. Like, I accept it all because it deserves that love. So anyway, love always and forever. Bye for now.